welcome to another edition of Did You Know Doctor Who? Watching may have not known about Doctor Who. We've just had a regeneration story, so why not have a post-regeneration story? This time being the post-regeneration story, and arguably the first proper story featuring the 12th Doctor. Here is Deep Breath. I hope you enjoy. Peter Capaldi is one of the oldest actors to play the Doctor, and was only a few months younger than William Hartnell when he took the role himself. Unlike fellow Scottish actor David Tennant, Peter Capaldi decided to keep his Scottish accent as it allowed him to feel closer to the character. Believe it or not, the BBC felt that his Scottish accent may be too hard to understand for audiences. It is never explicitly stated that the villains in the story were clockwork droids, despite several references and implicit revelations. In July of 2014, Deep Breath was prematurely leaked. It was in black and white and featured no special effects, but the whole story was leaked by Latin America's BBC headquarters. This has the highest viewing figures since Matt Smith's first episode, The 11th Hour, hitting 9.17 million viewers. This is technically the first time that a Doctor's first episode isn't said Doctor's first appearance, as the 12th Doctor first briefly appeared in Day of the Doctor. This story premiered on the 23rd of August, which is the same day as when the Fires of Pompeii takes place, where Peter Capaldi first appeared in Doctor Who. Matt Smith's cameo was recorded during the filming of The Time of the Doctor. When the Doctor wears a human face as a disguise in the Clockwork Droids' lair, the face is actually that of the 11th Doctor. The mask depicting the waiter the Doctor was posing as tore on the first take, forcing the production team to hastily grab a spare mask which happened to be the cast of Matt Smith's face. This is the first story since The Mythmakers where a story is sandwiched between two Dalek stories. When shown in cinema, this story had a 5-minute prequel featuring the Pater Noster gang. After the episode, during a Q&A, a fan correctly guessed that Missy was the Master. Stephen Moffat came up with the half-faced man as a villain that wasn't too powerful but rather an echo of the newly regenerated Doctor, as he described meeting a man who's constantly rebuilding himself and can't really remember why. In fact, the Clockwork Droids are completely different to the previous Clockwork Droids shown, showing how much things have changed since then. When asked what ultimately happened to the half-faced man after Missy uploaded his consciousness to the Nethersphere, Stephen Moffat speculated that Missy most likely got rid of him rather than turning him into a Cyberman. Peter Capaldi was selected to be the 12th Doctor as Moffat felt best that we have an older Doctor after a series of younger ones. And finally, when Peter Capaldi was young, he wrote to a magazine wishing to be in Doctor Who one day. Well, decades later, that dream came true. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Deep Breath has a bit of a mixed reaction online. Some people really don't like it, and some people do like it, but don't really think it's brilliant in any way. I do think that is one of the weaker introductions to the Doctors, although I do think The Woman Who Fell to Earth is far weaker than this. Deep Breath is a genuinely interesting story. I do think that some of the criticisms are valid. For example, the gang are kind of annoying, so are Clara, but then again you got Peter Capaldi, who is absolutely fantastic. In fact, Peter Capaldi to many people is the best of the rebooted Doctors, and I can certainly see why. In fact, I sometimes struggle to pick between him and Christopher Eccleston, as they're both fantastic Doctors, and I think they're just truly awesome. Like, Peter Capaldi feels like the Doctor. He is just amazing in every scene, and in this first appearance he has a lot of mystery to him. There's a lot of things that make you think, well, what is he going to do? What is he going to be like? And even the Doctor doesn't know what he's going to be like. I do like the fact that the Clockwork Droids were brought back for this, even though I do feel like they could have done with a new monster. But then again, the half-faced man is such an interesting villain, and the Clockwork Droids are absolutely amazing villains overall. I love the Clockwork Droids, and Girl in the Fireplace is my favourite of the rebooted era, although then again there is the Parting of the Ways and Dalek, which are also absolutely fantastic, as well as Journey's End of the Utopia trilogy. But nonetheless, let's not get into that until later on. Deep Breath overall is a decent watch. I do think that Peter Capaldi's first series is definitely the weakest. There are a lot more bad episodes than there are good, and if I'm perfectly honest, a lot of the good episodes are a little bit of a mixed bag. Honestly, the season finale is probably the best part of this series, and it is a shame that Peter Capaldi was doomed with quite a lot of mediocre and not very interesting episodes, and his final series is absolutely fantastic. Like, that one is just amazing in every way. But then again, Peter Capaldi is a fantastic Doctor. I love the 12th Doctor so much, and he really does make his era watchable. I also love the new opening theme for Doctor Who. I think it's a certain step up over the 11th Doctor theme, which I didn't really like that much. And Peter Capaldi's opening introduction with the clock and everything looks so great. And I love the theme tune. It sounds so fantastic. It sounds almost like a blend of the classic and the modern. I love this episode. Well, okay, I think love is a bit of a strong statement. I think it's a decent watch. I think it's a good episode. I like this episode. I would say it's around 6, 7 out of 10 overall. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Did You Know Doctor Who, and I'll see you next time.